snippet at the end, we have some bonus content. It is our... Hello, I'm Lacey, and my co-host Caitlin is on vacation this week, so I have a special guest, but... We are excited to be here. Welcome back to Women in the Trailer Industry. Today we're here with Nacole, and she is one of our sales reps on our team at the Trailer Parts Outlet, and she is our special guest today to share with us what that looks like for her, who she is, and we're excited to have you here. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, my name's Nacole. I am one of the trailer expert sales reps in the office. It's me and one other female that works in there.
Whoop, whoop.
The guys. Well, we had Christina that just came through, but it's a nice experience in there. And I mean, there's not really much to sell except 2 kids, husband, and
one on the way.
And one on the way. Yeah.
It's so exciting.
Didn't expect that until after the trailer convention, but I was like, well, at least I know now.
Yeah. Do you know what you're having yet?
Not yet. Cool. I think you should be able to tell in the next week or two, because about 11 weeks, that's when that starts forming.
Oh, yeah. So exciting. Number 3. You have 2 boys, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
What are their names?
Ace and Dawson.
And they're really cute.
They are. They are really, really cute. If you know me and kind of hear me explain my kids, I'm like, Dawson's my wild one. And, of course, Ace is my albino, which everyone looks at me like, no, he can't be. But, like, seriously, he's that white.
He has really, really bright white hair. But so tell us, what does a sales rep do here at the Trailer Parts Outlet?
We try to do a little bit of everything for a lot of our customers. We'll go find the part. We'll try to see if the part's available. We'll see cost, availability for you. And then some occasions we'll even go out there and pack it, especially for a customer.
For sure, yeah. I mean, and is that just on the phone customers that call in, or is that wholesale customers too?
That's wholesale customers. We even do walk-in customers as well. We'll help those out when they come in.
Awesome. What would you say is your work-life, mom-life balance? I mean, Caitlin and I talk a lot. Mm-hmm. We have a few episodes on what our balance looks like. What does yours look like?
Look, I'm going to be completely honest. Like, it's a struggle trying to find that balance. I don't know. Like, for me, I'm like trying to find it and know someone who actually has found the perfect balance, because it's changed every day. Because the older they get, the more likely they're going to get into sports and other activities after school. So trying to find the perfect balance is a little bit harder as the years go older. Yeah. But the older they get, then you're all like excited, because you're all like, okay, because they can take care of themselves.
Yes.
You know, a little bit. So then you're like, oh, all right. But other than that, finding the balance, it's hard, but at the same time, when you succeed, just the little things, you feel good.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
You don't have to do everything to a perfection, but knowing you got through the day and your child survived is a plus. You know?
And you came to work and you did your job well.
Right. But there are times where if I've worked from home, I mean, you can ask everyone, they laugh whenever they listen to the phone records and they hear my one child just screaming in my ear. And I'm all like trying to put it on mute with the cell. And I'm like, shh.
Oh my gosh. I can totally hear Dawson doing that.
Yeah, he does have a tendency to like scream. Or the worst part is right when I'm cooking dinner and I think that I have, a moment, and then my cell goes off and he's answering and like, here, mommy, it's for you. I'm like, no.
Oh my gosh.
This is not working.
So what do your customers say, whatever? I mean, obviously we've lived through the pandemic now. Mm-hmm. People are used to, everybody worked from home for a while. So what, like, do your customers say anything funny or like, hey, you have a little one there with you, or what do they?
I mean, they enjoy it because they feel like they're talking to someone realistic versus, how would you say, a more robotic type of sales rep. They kind of loosen up and they'll start joking along with you. Yeah. I think I had one customer who looked at me, like not looked at me, but he said, I'll call you back in a few minutes if you don't have the time. I'm like, no, sir, like I have the time. Just give me like a brief moment. And I'm like throwing like candy and stuff.
Oh
like,
my gosh. We were laughing because I was telling Caitlin that one time I was in a meeting and it's like your kids, maybe you just don't know it, but like your kids are totally quiet, like, and if you're not on the phone, and then the minute that you have to get on the phone or be in a meeting or whatever it is, if you're working from home, that's just a struggle in itself, because it's like, then all hell breaks loose in the whole house. It's like your one kid needs something to eat, the other kid's crying, and I'm just like running from room to room, shut the door behind me, and they're following me like, mom, where are you going?
Right. No. Well, because we have an extra room in our house, and we were planning on remodeling that room to be an office for me to be able to work in, just to have my peace.
Yeah.
Well, that's not going to become an office now.
It's a nursery.
It's a nursery now.
Yeah.
So it's getting that switched over, and I'm like, man, I'm just going to have to hide in
What am
my
I
room.
gonna go outside or something?
Right.
It is a struggle, I know for sure. What is like, how do you prioritize when you do work from home? Is it like pockets, sweet pockets here and there that you find? Or, I mean, we are like on the other side of it where we're more like software integrated into what we do, but you have to, like, phones ringing all the time. So what do you do
So what I try to do is, my oldest, let's say if my youngest is sick and I'm having to work from home, my oldest doesn't have to get on the bus till 6:30 in the morning, right? So that gets me up at 6 o'clock trying to get him ran down the road, down that long country road.
Yes.
To get him to the school bus. And then that leaves me a gap for my youngest, who's going to sleep till about 9 o'clock, hopefully.
Yeah, on a good day.
To be able to be on the phone. And then I have to make him a little bit of breakfast. And then after that, I'm like, put Bluey on to distract him for about
Gotta love Bluey.
I'm telling you,
it's a winner.
Just to distract him for a little bit. And then it's lunch, and then get him fed. And of course, I pray to the Lord above.
I was going to ask, does he take naps still?
If he'll take a nap.
Because he's 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then if I can get him to take a nap, then he's out for about an hour. Mm-hmm. And then that leaves me about an hour to get back on the phone, and then talk a little bit and put a little bit of sales in or catch up. And then if he's distracted with wherever he's distracted with, which hopefully it's not quiet, because when it's quiet, then I'm running to see what they're into.
What are they into?
But then I go pick up my oldest from the bus, and then I come back, and then I start dinner. So there are pockets that I know it's kind of frustrating if I am working from home and everyone's wanting answers. I'm like, well, I'm in between a pocket right now.
Yeah.
Just give me a moment, and I promise you I'll get back to you, even if it's later when I've shoved them into bed or something, to look back open. And then that's when I dread to open my laptop. I'm like, what did I miss, and who's going to be mad at me for the brief moment?
I think that's the one thing that kind of changes your dynamic when you do have to work from home is you find yourself having to follow up and catch up later in the night, especially if you're a mom, to try to catch up on those things. But you work most of the time, unless one of them are sick or you have to be out. You work most of the time in office. So tell us kind of like what is your goals for 2022, and what's it looking like?
Well, my goal was to kind of, honestly, because, before I decided to be a mother of a third one, to start more of like helping with podcasting with y'all, and then also deep diving into a lot of the conventions and going out and seeing people face to face. Yeah. And then trying to hire my sales, work a little bit harder, because, my oldest is being more self-sufficient and my youngest is coming up to be more self-sufficient. So I was like, okay, that's going to be a little bit easier on me to be able to have room to just really deep dive into my work. But now it's just all like, oh, man, my goal now is just to at least be second sales team floor instead of the last one. Yes. Yeah.
No, I get it. Yeah. You recently went to NATDA or NATM?
NATM?
Yeah. So tell us about that. Like, how was that for you? Was that your first convention?
I loved it. It was my vacation convention. Yes. Because it was my first time being away from my kids and my husband for like a week, right?
So nice.
So it was like a vacation, plus it was working at the same time. But I loved it. I mean, I was tired and sick most of the time. Who knew why? Yeah. But I absolutely loved it. I loved meeting the people. I loved talking face to face, and it was just the best
The
time
networking
I
is
had.
so awesome too.
Yes.
It's fun. Yeah. So what is your number one piece of advice for mothers out there who do the in between? They are trying to be successful and they're trying to find that balance of, you know, being a good mom who is like in touch and in tune with their children. What was your number one piece of advice?
It's okay. It is okay to not be perfect as a mother. No one is.
Yeah, for sure.
No one is. You're going to have moments where you just want to just lose your mind and pull your hair.
For sure.
Take a breath. Walk into the bathroom if you have to. Lock the door and eat your piece of chocolate alone if you want to.
Yes.
It's okay. Just take a moment, and no one's perfect in motherhood.
So what would be your one piece of advice to how to stay on top of your work with children?
My best piece of advice is, you know, if you can be in the office, that's your crunch time. If you're at home, find your perfect bubble gaps.
Right.
The ones, if you have to get up a little bit earlier or if you have to stay up a little bit later. Of course, that takes away from your husband. We all know how that is.
The poor hubbies, they always suffer.
They always
Not really,
suffer,
but we're going to give that to them.
But find your bubble gaps at home. Find those perfect bubble gaps where you're working in between and run with it. And that's your time that you just need to dive in there and just full crunch and get as much as you can. But once you get that routine and that bubble gap down, you're good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I totally agree with that. So just to, you know, end things, I just want to end it with something pretty funny. So I'm going to give my story first and then you can give yours. Okay. I want to know, so you can be thinking about it, what's one of the funniest or craziest things that you've caught your children doing? And so for me, the other day, I have an 18-month-old, or actually she's 20 months old now, but she's my wild child. So they always say the second kid's supposed to be like totally calm and cool and not trouble at all. That's not true for mine. It's just not. So she has a mind of her own. She's kind of a wild child. So she's quiet. And like you said, when the kids get quiet, just you got to go find them wherever they are. And I'm like, Olivia, where are you? And she's like, I flush. I go in the bathroom and she has her hands straight up in the toilet where she has like taking the toilet paper. That's her new favorite thing because we're potty training. Taking the toilet paper, put it in the toilet, and then she's flushing, but she also has her hands in there too. And she's flinging toilet water everywhere. And she's just looking at me like, what, Mom? Like, what am I doing wrong? We do this all the time. Like, except for that your hands are all up in it. So she really tripped me out that day. But I mean, it's just crazy stuff like that happens all the time. And it usually happens whenever you're trying to work. You know, that's whenever you kind of are sidetracked on where your kids actually are. But that's when the funny stuff happens. So what is your story?
I'm going to go with, I actually have so many that I can't even pinpoint. I'm going to go with the one time that it was really quiet in the room. It was about time for them to go to bed. And of course, everyone has to pee at the last minute.
Yes, always.
So the next morning, I'm thinking, okay, why is there so much hair across the floor as I'm going back there to the boys' room?
Oh my gosh.
And I'm looking, and apparently my youngest thought it was okay to shave everything that got in his way of direction.
Oh no.
So that went for the pets, that went for his hair. And thank God my oldest knew how to run because his would have been shaved as well. And I'm like starting to feel my hair. I'm like, did he touch mine too? Because everything was shaved.
Oh my gosh.
And I had to run and get him to the salon because he just had a haircut. So his was nice.
Was it clippers or like a razor?
It was both.
Oh my gosh.
It was both. He found my husband's clippers and plugged that thing in. And then he found my razors and then went ahead with that.
So even the animals had patches missing out of their hair?
Everything had patches missing. And I'm like, because for the longest time, I'm like, why is there, as I'm walking through the house, I'm like, why is there hair everywhere? And you're thinking like, why didn't I hear it, you know?
Yes.
And of course it was because I went to bed and they woke up at some point and was quiet enough to get away with it.
Oh my gosh.
And usually for me, I'm like, I hear them like when they wake up.
That's a mom
you'll
thing.
Hear them cough. You'll hear them even gag to throw up because you were running. Mm-hmm. I did not hear any of this. So I was either super exhausted They were super ninja.
So how many patches did he have missing out of his hair?
Oh, he had like about 5 patches.
Oh my gosh.
Well, if you could like include the huge one that he decided to do in the back of his head right here.
Oh my gosh.
Because I even looked at my husband, I'm like, where's all this hair coming from?
That is
Why
funny.
is there so much hair?
Okay, yours beats mine. That's much more funny than mine. Leave it to Dawson. He's got a good one for everybody.
Yes. They're not cutting their hair, they're getting into my makeup. And that's why I so wish I had a girl, because I would just be like, but now I'm just like, if you want to play in mommy's makeup, it's okay.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
It's whatever it takes at this moment. Just get the cheap stuff.
Yes.
Okay, leave the expensive stuff alone.
Whatever entertains them at this point. Well, thank you so much for being on our podcast today. We really appreciate it. And I've enjoyed having you and filling in for Caitlin being gone. It was a great addition to our podcast. And thank you guys for being here. Remember to like and subscribe. Follow us on anywhere that you stream your podcast or YouTube. And we will see you guys later. Thank you. Okay. Hey, we're back, guys. And just for a quick little snippet at the end, we have some bonus content. It is our creative director, Kiefer, and he has a whole slew of children of his own and a great story to tell us. So here he is.
So I guess this is like drop the woe off the men, right? The woe men. This is,
Yeah, this is the men part of the woe men.
Woo! No, okay. So y'all are sitting here talking about the story. And I was not present for this because I was at work at the time. But my wife was at the house, and she was not working at the time, being a stay-at-home mom. And I get this phone call. You'll never guess what your daughter did. At the time,
gosh.
Lillian was a little over 2. Corvin was newborn, like not walking, not even crawling yet.
Nice.
Well, we lived in this manufactured home trailer, or whatever you want to call it, that had a glass door. For some reason, my daughter decided to open that door.
And let it slam?
No.
Oh.
Even better. And I wish I could. I wish I could have seen the pose, but her legs were inside. She had popped her diaper off, but her butt was right over the crack between the trailer and the deck. Holding herself up with one hand, holding the door up with the other. And she's just letting it fall right. Great aim. Great aim.
Oh my gosh.
A+ on
she
aim.
Needed to go potty.
And she just dumped between the two.
Oh, she dumped. Oh,
She dumped.
my
And
gosh.
she got it, not a smudge portion of on the trailer or the porch.
Oh my gosh.
And my wife is sitting here laughing as she's doing it. She's telling me about
Well,
this.
you can't stop somebody mid poop. I mean, come on.
No, but potty training, right?
Yes, potty. I'm telling you.
And it was the most. Like, I wish there was a video of it because I would hold that against my daughter.
Did you have neighbors?
My in-laws were across the street.
Oh, okay.
And,
like they got a show.
Yeah. And I was like, I wish I would have been there for that. But that's my one like crazy story of
That's a good one.
children gone wild.
Yeah, children. Potty training children gone wild. I'm telling you.
100%.
It's like they take one thing. Like you let them pee outside one time, girl or boy, and that is all they're gonna
Oh,
do.
my son,
Period.
that's all he wanted. He's like, nope, I gotta go pee. Bathroom's that way.
Yeah.
Nope, doors that way,
The only
trees
problem
that
is
way.
when people are around. At that point, there's like, no couth because they don't know any better. So you're
Well,
like, no.
So my son decided to find the trees in the yard, which is fine. Like whatever. We lived in the country at the
Yeah.
time. But we were at a party.
Oh no.
And there was an indoor plant that looked like a tree.
Oh no. It's indoors.
Indoors. And I was there for that one.
Oh,
I saw
my
exactly what he's about to
gosh.
do, and I beelined it to him, snatched him up, and literally yeeted him out the door. I was like, go out there. I'm not dealing with you in here.
Oh my gosh, that is funny.
And I think the story that takes number 2 would be my best friend at the time was a cop, and his little boy is about the same age as Lillian, and they had their 3-year-old birthday party, and she thought she saw a pool. No, she was still in diapers, so about the same time she did the porch trailer crack incident.
Yeah.
We're like, there's gonna be a pool, and she's like, okay, cool. Yay. She literally, before she gets out the car, her shirt's off
Nice.
and the little shorts she had on. We're like, all right, that's fine. She's a little baby. It's cool, whatever. She makes a beeline to the backyard where the pool was, a little kiddie pool. And all of a sudden, there's a diaper fly out of the air, and she dive bombs
Oh my
buck
gosh.
naked into this pool in front of God and
She
everybody.
don't care. She has no shame.
She had no shame.
I'm sure she wouldn't do it now. At what? 12? Is she 12?
Yeah, she's 12. 11.
Yeah.
She'll be 12. She'll be 12 in November.
Yeah, she's gonna be mortified that you're telling this story right now.
Oh yeah, she would. I remember when my wife did the podcast with y'all, and she's like, "How old is she?" And she cocked her head to the side, and you hear me from the background. She'll be 12 in November, so she's 11. All right, I have a 12-year-old. Really? Seriously? Like,
Yeah.
I just okay.
Yep.
I'm just here. I'm just here to make noise.
Lillian's probably like, Mom, you didn't know how old I was.
Right? Oh man, but yeah, that's my story.
Well, thanks for sharing. These stories are funny.
Yeah. Hey guys, if y'all have not subscribed to this, please do. Like
Hey,
it.
jump on here and tell us what your funny kid story is. We would love to hear it.
Actually, if you will email them to this email right here, Lacey will get that
Yes, I will.
and she will respond to it.
I will.
And we might feature, make some shorts with them and feature your story and how you do this. Also check out Full Send with Juan Hernandez.
Yes.
That comes out on Wednesdays. These drop on Fridays. And then Quick Tips, I host those, come out whenever I get them done throughout the week. But thank y'all for being here, for putting up with a Men and the Woman in the Trailer Industry podcast. I had to share those stories. I love my
happy
children.
to have you.
And I love being part of this family here too.
Yes, it is a good one. Thank you guys for being here.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Sweet.
I had to share those stories.
Those are good.